Have you ever wanted to go ghost from the world and you just were a little bit too afraid to do so? Well, I went ghost for the last 18 months. Nobody has seen me, talk to me, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I did it and how it was a game changer for me. What is up, world? This is Isiah Fowler, and it's been a hell of a long time. It's been quite some time, almost 2 years since I've created some content for people to consume, but it's my birthday today, and I felt like this was the best time to reemerge and come back out in the world, because I feel like I really have a lot of things to say now. I have a lot of things to share with the world, and so I wanted to create this new channel to be able to really give the world some real stuff. So anyways, back to why we're here. So before I went ghost and I vanished, I was actually doing online consulting. I had a strategic branding agency, and I was helping e-commerce businesses grow. And I was making a lot of money. I was helping a lot of people make a lot of money in their businesses. But I got to a point where I was like, man, I want to do something like bigger. I want to switch up how I'm doing things. And in life, you got to be strategic about where you really want to go. And so what I did was, I was like, okay, let me sit back and let me think. And I ended up deciding that I wanted to do something that very few people choose to do. Very few people volunteer to do. So I ended up getting into door-to-door sales. So I started selling solar. And a lot of people don't like salespeople or whatever the case may be, but sales is a 7-figure, 8-figure skill at the end of the day. And I already know how to sell. So I was like, I can really make some real shit happen with this opportunity. And so I just went ghost. I didn't talk to nobody. I just got in and door to door. I found a company to lock in with. And in 18 months, I ran up well over 250,000. And then from there, I had all these lessons. I had all these things that I learned because I chose to do something that, number one, is difficult, very difficult, but also I chose to do something that very few people do. And when you choose to do something that people don't want to do, you're going to get the things that people don't want to get, whether it's material or knowledge or wisdom or whatever the case may be. You're going to get things that so many people aren't going to get because you chose to walk a path less traveled. So I decided to choose the road less traveled, and I learned so many things in the process. And so I'm forever grateful for the journey, because the journey is the reward. I'm grateful for the people that I've met. I'm grateful for so many things, but now I really wanted to bring so much of this wisdom back to the world finally, and really like do it in a really big way, a really powerful way. So I'm excited to be back. And some of the things that I learned in the past 18 months and beyond, my whole life, is what I'm aggregating right now, and I'm gonna bring it to you. So what do I mean about going ghost? It's really just vanishing from the world. The biggest thing is social media. Not being tethered to these worldly things, right? Trying to hustle for the cars, trying to hustle for these new shoes, trying to hustle for this watch. Somebody else on social media is showing off this lifestyle, so I gotta hustle and I gotta go get it when that's not even really what I want, right? Like going really ghost and taking time to really assess everything. It's really about doing what you wanna do based on where you wanna go. Because what I've learned is a lot of people, they're just living a life full of distractions, because the distractions are prevalent. The distractions are so heavy in this world that we living in that people don't even really know what they want. Based off of all of my observation in this world, from consulting businesses, entrepreneurs, living life, talking to people in the world, distractions are literally creating people to not even know who they are and what they want. And so I was like, man, I need to really like just fall back from the world, because when you do that, you really get to get a lot of clarity. And all that clarity has helped me in so many ways. And I got some things that I'm gonna share with you that I learned, and how was really going ghost a game changer? How was cutting off people a game changer? How was not talking to people a game changer? How was seeing how people responded to me when I took time for myself? How was that a game changer? These things matter. These things are powerful when you allow them to teach you. A lot of people, they don't want life to teach them. They're running away from all the lessons. They're running away from the pain. They're running away from the challenges because they don't really want to learn. But yet they want the success. They want this and they want that. But there is no true success if you're not willing to go through the journey of learning the lessons and be committed to the process, because the actual process is what really matters when we really thinking about it. The process is what really, really, really matters. It's not about going the fast route, because the fast route is you think it's a shortcut. You think it's a shortcut, but what really happens is it makes your process and it makes your journey longer. Because one thing I learned is the hard way, the shit that you are trying to run away from and circumvent, that's really the shortcut. Because anytime in my life I tried to do something that I thought was a hack, what happened was I ended up right where I started. And then I was like, all right, let me go do this shit that I really don't want to do. And then when I did that, it was like magic, because I started to see and understand that the hard things are really what gets you through. Because when you skip steps, you miss lessons. I always say this: when you skip steps, you miss lessons. And you got to stop skipping steps. You have to stop skipping steps. And so when I sit here and I go ghost and I'm not talking to anybody and I'm just going through this, I've learned some skill sets that have put me in a position to be good for the rest of my life at this point. Right? I've learned certain things, and I've had certain wisdom imparted on me that I could carry for the rest of my life. But if I was out here giving into the distractions and drifting and not doing what I really wanted to do or what I knew I needed to do, because it's a different thing to do what you want to do versus what you know you need to do. Because what you want to do ain't always what you need to do. But what you need to do is always going to get you where you want to go. So you got to really start assessing what you really want in your life and who you want to become 10 years down the road, or 5 years down the road for the short term, or even a year from the road, down the road. If you want to be somebody, if you want to do something, if you want to experience something, what actions are you taking right now to become the person to get where you want to go? Like, you really got to understand this stuff. So some of the things that I ended up learning from just going ghost and being able to observe life are as follows. So one of the first things that I learned is when you vanish and you literally just, fall off the face of the earth, you really, really, really see who really fuck with you. You really see who really rocking with you. You really see who cares about you as a human being. Because when you are out here visible every day on the internet and on social media, what happens is people get used to that, and then they have these expectations of you. And so after that, you think that people that have these followings, they think that people really care about them. But when you go ghost, you start to see that, like, yo, these people ain't hit me up seeing about my well-being, or when they do hit me up, they're only asking for what they were getting. And so you really get to assess your real relationships. So when I, vanished, I really saw my circle, or the people that I talked to, it shrunk. And it's like, that's the real core of what matters. I literally talked to like 3 to 4 people on a consistent basis. And you got to understand that, like, the bigger your circle is, in my opinion, the less valuable it is. Because less is always more in this game of life. That's a universal principle. It ain't always about how big something is, how much of something you have. It's really about what's the quality. What's the quality? What's your quality of life? What's your quality of relationships? What really, really, really is bringing you true value? And are you bringing those people true value? You can't build 100 great, in-depth, intimate relationships with people because you spread too thin. And so when I sat back and I really assessed it, I'm like, damn, it's really a couple people. And these people have been consistent before the internet, or even if I met them on the internet, it's been 3-4 years already in. And so you really start to be able to assess that, and then you get to prioritize your relationships based on that. And that's something that I'm forever grateful for. The second thing that I really, got to learn is you get to really cleanse your aura and see who you really are and what you really want when you really take time away from everybody. Because what happens is, think about it like this. If you got 85 people around you, that's 85 opinions. That's 85 personalities. That's 85 expectations. That's 85 things that these people are trying to, get from you, so to speak. And you end up getting pulled in all these different directions. And when you get used to getting pulled in all these different directions, you start to really not be doing the things that you want to do. And so when I'm saying you get to cleanse your aura, social media and living through all these distractions is creating different people. Because when you are so focused on what's happening in the world, you don't really get to see what you want to do, who you want to be at your core. And your aura is your energetic field. When you have a weaker energetic field, it's easier to get penetrated through. And that's because you got all these distractions and all these people that don't really care too much about you on a deep level. And so when you go ghost, you get to really power up your energetic force field. You get to assess, you get to journal, you get to meditate, you get to observe, you get to think. And then you get to strengthen who you are. And then who you are, your essence becomes more potent. And that's what I'm so happy that I did. Because now I really know what I want. And that's why I was like, man, I've learned a lot of things on YouTube, but YouTube is a powerful, powerful platform. But I've seen content out there and I'm like, I really, really, really have something to say. So what will happen if I really make a power move and go all in on this? But if I'm around all these other people and all these other opinions, I'm always going to be slightly doing the things that they're doing, just because when you are next to somebody or you're always talking to somebody, you adopt their philosophies and ideologies. And how many times have you done something that somebody else is doing and then you look back on it like, man, why was I doing that? It's because their energetic force field got into yours. And so you started to think that this is okay. You started to accept who they were, what they were doing, and now you're doing it. But what if you just got away from the world and you started doing what you wanted to do? What if? How much more powerful would you be? How much more would you accomplish? And so when I'm saying you get to cleanse your energetic force field and your aura, that's what I mean. You really get a chance to assess what's really, really, really real. Not what somebody else is projecting onto you, not what somebody else is saying you should do, but what do you really want? And that's why so many people are in the positions that they're in, because they're not doing what's really true to their spirit. They're just doing what somebody else is saying, what somebody else is suggesting. The third thing that I learned is all you need is 1 to 2 skill sets to master to go run up some M's, millions. That's all you need, right? We live in this world where everybody's saying 7 streams of income, but they don't understand that that's 7 streams of effort. So how you gonna have 7 streams of income, but you only one person? You don't even know how to delegate yet. but you over here talking about 7 streams of income, and that you don't understand that all those streams of income need to be managed, because passive income, it ain't even a real thing, because it needs to be managed. And so when you understand that you only need 1 or 2 skill sets, really one to go run up a milli, but to really go crazy, you need a couple skill sets. And your skill sets are always going to fluctuate. Once you get one skill set under control and you know how to manage it, then you can learn something new. But you don't want to go too crazy trying to learn all these different things. And that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying quality over quantity. Everybody trying to have the most friends, the most followers, but it's the people with a lot of followers with not a lot of money. It's people with more followers and they got money in their bank. So it's like, you got to really understand what's really going on. So, for me, I've been in sales before. I've been selling since I was 14. I was going door to door when I was 14 years old, selling newspaper subscriptions. And so sales, that is a 10-figure skill set when you really understand what you could do with it. Branding, that's another, 10-figure skill set. Marketing, right? Learning how to invest and trade in the market, whether it's Forex, crypto, stock options, it don't matter. These are all 8, 9, 10-figure skill sets, right? Being strategic, that's another skill set. And so these are already things that I knew, but the wisdom intensified when I started to really isolate myself from everybody. I'm talking about everybody. What if you isolated yourself from everybody? What if you wasn't going to brunch every Sunday? What if you wasn't going out every Saturday? What if you took intentional time for 12 months to really lock in on whatever it is you wanted, what you said you wanted? What if you really took the time to just lock in, to have a structure, to have a schedule, to not go out like that? What if you took a pause on the trips? What if? Who would you be? And a lot of times, who you would be, but you afraid. You afraid of ruffling feathers. You afraid of making people feel uncomfortable. You afraid of hurting people's feelings. And you stopping yourself from being who you really could be because you're afraid of other people's reaction to your decisions. And something I've learned in life is you can't be worried about how somebody else is going to react to your decision that you're making that's best for you. So think about them skill sets. Where are you at in your life, and what are the skill sets you have? If you making money, right, and you making good money, and you are making money through a skill set, you just need to double down on that skill set. Maybe delegate some shit out, and you could go up. But if you don't understand that the skills pay the bills, and when you really invest into the skill set, and I look at a skill set as a craft, right? Because look at anybody on an elite level, NBA, NFL, highly paid athletes, highly paid anybody at the highest level of any industry, they are studying their craft. They are mastering the skill sets. They are practicing. They are putting in the work. They're not doing what everybody else is doing. They're not trying to be average. They're not trying to be regular. What if you doubled down on them skill sets? All you need is 1 or 2 to really run up a crazy bag. And then you can start investing that money, and then you could even go crazier. And one of the last things that I learned is you blow up faster when you aren't looking at everybody else's life. Right? Because when you're looking at somebody else's life, you're not focusing on yours. Imagine me racing somebody else, and it's 2 people to the side of me, and I'm running. The second I look to my left or to my right, I already lost. See, you got to know how to focus, and you got to know how to focus on you. You got to know how to focus on what's important. And in order to focus on what's important, you got to know what is important. So let me ask you, what's important to you? It's so much easier when you locked in to go be successful. It don't take 30 years to do certain things. It don't take 8 years to do certain things. But what it do take is focus. What it do take is discipline. But if you ain't got that, then how are you going to get where you want to get to? And if you're looking at everybody else's life, you never going to get there. And they always going to be accomplishing their dreams and their goals. There's a quote that says, comparison is a thief of opportunity. It's also a thief of joy. I've heard both of those quotes before, and they both true. But you got to stop looking at other people's lives, because the more you look outside, the less you know who you are inside. What if you just knew I was that dude, I was that girl, I'll make this happen, I could do anything I touch turns to gold? What if you told yourself that and you didn't need to look outward? You don't need inspiration for real. You need discipline. You need focus. You need internal willpower. Right? We always trick ourselves into thinking, oh, I follow this person because it's inspiring. Nah. Why don't you inspire yourself? Look in the mirror every day and tell yourself, you that dude, you that girl, I got this. What if you look in the mirror and told yourself that? And you went out in the world and you made it happen based on what you told yourself. The more you looking outward and you looking at other people's life, the more it's slowing you down. So, those are some of the things that I learned, and the wisdom that was instilled in me when I went ghost, when I vanished. But I just want to let everybody know I'm back, I'm here, and every Wednesday I got some new sauce for you guys dropping. And subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, let me know which one resonated with you. In the comments, just drop a comment, let me know like what you really rocking with. But I ain't going nowhere, and I'm committed to really like giving you guys the highest quality content possible every single week. So, happy birthday to me, and I'll see y'all next week. Peace.